Hello there. I'm Scotty. You're not. Welcome back to the Smallville Retrospective. We're on Season 8, Episode 15, titled Turbulence. 16, excuse me. 15 was infamous. Turbulence. Directed by Kevin G. Fair, who directed the opener. Yeah. This wasn't bad, but this was filler. It is filler. Filler. Yeah, you take this episode out, there's not much. I mean, there's some stuff with Yimi and Chloe, but other than that, it's filler. And we start off this episode of filler in a confessional booth with Davis. And then they lie to him where you never know who it's him, and then he kind of comes into the light and, well, no duh, it's him. Why wouldn't it be him? He's talking to the priest. He said there's a demon inside him, takes over. He explains. He drives the streets of Metropolis looking for criminals, and he stops them committing crimes. And he helps the beast from taking over. But we see through the clips that what he's visualizing what's going on. He's actually killing the criminals, and that prevents his transformation into Doomsday, which you'd think that would actually, him attacking people would cause Doomsday to come out, but I don't know. We have the opening credits. And at the farm, Chloe arrives as Clark is going off to work, and she complains that he's doing too much. He's overexposing himself as the Red Blue Blur. He's like, he's proud of what he's doing, and he's starting slowing down so cameras can record him, but it's still a blur. Chloe thinks he's in danger of exposing his identity, but Clark says that he thinks, he believes that people seeing the blur, gives people hope. So he never strikes to Chloe. It's got me an expert changing into his clothes, but he gets a little even as it's his backpack is what it is. But she's worried that Tess now knows his secret, which is absolutely true. But Clark says the only thing she should worry about is Yimi, who has been transferred to Metropolis General. In the last episode, in the other timeline, he couldn't get transferred because there's too many people there or something like that. Now he's been transferred there. Clark doesn't think Jimmy's doing well and feels guilty for not having protected him from the creature. Chloe's hopeful he's recovering. Chloe then arrives at the hospital to see Yimi. He's trying to give himself an extra dose of a pain medication because he's in pain. And it's like, well, they won't let you. The thing is designed so it won't let you do anymore. And I'm like, but my problem is if he's in pain, then the medication ain't fucking working. Give him more. Because the whole thing is the pain medication is supposed to take away the pain. It's not taking away the pain, then obviously he needs more. And I understand there can be overdoses and blah, blah, blah. But if it's supposed to get rid of the pain and he's still in pain, then it's not working. Give him more. Right? He just wants to go home. Chloe says that she talked to a psychiatrist. He doesn't want to. Or a psychologist, whatever. Jimmy thinks since they made it through the attack of their way, and they'll be fine together. That night, Yimi has a nightmare about the wedding day and his injury. He wakes up and tries to call the nurse for more pain meds, but he sees a weird man. I believe this one or is it the one at the beginning is supposed to be Richard Harmon, one of them. But a hood figure shows up. The figure kills the man and turns to face Jimmy, and it is Davis. At the DP, the next day, the DP Clark is working and looking for ways to save people when he's approached by Tess. She teases him about his book backpack, I was gonna say. And once opens up, and Clark says, "Oh no, it's just workout clothes. I go to the gym." And he says she wants him to accompany her to a press conference in L.A. to announce the formation of Mercer Media Group, saying it would be good for his reporting career. Back at the obstacle, Chloe is there, having been summoned by the police. Yimi says that he saw Davis kill someone. Davis shows up, and I like how Jimmy's like, "Hey, so did they let out murder suspects?" And he's like, "Hey, it was all misunderstanding. I didn't do anything. What happened was Yeah, I was here last night. I was chasing a drunk driver that, um, that I brought in. You saw that you were all hopped up on your pain medications. Apparently, every time you hit that thing, it was giving you a double dose. And even Chloe's like, that thing was stopping him from getting more meds. He was like, I don't know, it was malfunction. You can ask any of the nurses; they'll verify it. Which I don't know if that's exactly true, but yeah, he's trying to gaslight them. Jimmy ain't having it though. Uh, uh, he leaves, and then Chloe follows to apologize to Jimmy and Davis. They talk. And he's like, "Oh, he's just mad because you kissed me. It's because I kissed you." And she's like, "I haven't told him about that," and says that he's moving on, but we'll still be friends. Chloe's like, she wonders if Jimmy never met her, would he be in a better place? And he says, well, we'll be friends, but in the previous episode, he's like, I don't think we can be friends or whatever, but I guess that was before. I don't know. He gives her a hug, and I was like, cue Jimmy watching him from the window, and there it is. Yep. So, because they can't afford another set, Clark and Tess are using Oliver's private jet on the way to LA. Because, I mean, it makes sense with the story that they're merging, but still. She then brisks off the tracking device. So I guess she's like, I stopped off for some plastic surgery. He's like, no, don't worry, no nip and tuck. Lex had did a little something to me, and I had it removed. Keep in mind, she looks perfectly fine. There's no scars on her face. She's no eye patch, nothing. She's just fine. They couldn't put a bandage on her or something. Come on. So Clark asks if Lex talked about him. She says that Lex had a journal. But doesn't tell Clark what it says. They even talk. Well, that's later, I guess. Clark's like, let's see if he has any wine or something here. Clark gets his boss drunk on a plane. I'm getting drunk on a plane. Jimmy sneaks into Davis's ambulance rig and looks around. He finds a drunk driver, dead, stashed in the back. He's shocked. He jumps back, crashes into a glass compartment, cutting his hand. Davis shows up, catches him snooping. Think he's looking for more pain medication. Jimmy then accuses him of killing the drunk driver and stashing his body. And he's like, he doesn't outright admit, but he's like, there's no body. He's like, I saw it. It's back there. I saw it. He's like, well, the drunk driver, maybe he deserves it. Maybe, see, he ran a red light and he killed a mother and her daughter. So if he did die, maybe he deserved it. And then he injects Jimmy with a sedative to knock him out. Jimmy wakes up in his hospital bed and Chloe screaming his name. He runs out to find her in the hospital and is running for her life. She locks herself in the exam room and Jim watches in horror as the creature from their wedding seemingly murders her. Jimmy starts screaming, pounding at the door when the doctors and nurses try to calm him down. Chloe shows up and realizes that he was dreaming. It's cut off here, it says he was. He was what? Back on the Queen plane. Clark and Tess are on the plane. And Tess is a little, she had too many martinis. And she's a little bit tipsy. So I asks again what's the next journal, and she still refuses to tell him. Instead, she tells him about how her father was an alcoholic who abused her. She hid under the covers, pretended she was a mermaid or something. I don't know. She lost me here. He says, well, that she was able to overcome a difficult childhood. And Tess says that, like Clark, she is good at hiding it. Clark acts all innocent. And Tess says she convinced that Lex's obsession with him proves otherwise. She's like, there's a whole room dedicated to you. Like, come on. There's mushroomed bullets. And he's sort of like, I told you she could. I don't have one. She goes to talk to the pilot, and there's an explosion. Plane depressurized. The pilot is gone as Clark goes to the cockpit. Window has been smashed. Tess goes to find the parachutes. However, she tells Clark she can't find any, and she starts to pass out. Clark puts oxygen mask over her face, while at the same time bending the tube to disrupt the airflow. So she'll pass out better, I guess. As she passes out, Clark picks her up and jumps out of the plane seconds before it explodes. Oh no! The jet is destroyed. Now what were we used to go see Oliver? Meanwhile, Davis is watching a criminal break into a building, but he is hit on the head by a pipe from Yimi. He's stunned, and Yimi handcuffs him to a chain link fence. Yimi confronts him and tells him he knows it was hallucinating when he found the dead body in Davis's rig because a cut on his palm is still there. He then accuses him of murdering a drunk driver and says that he has called Chloe and he wants Davis to tell her the truth. Yimi thinks Davis is trying to steal Chloe away from him, and Davis begins to transform, warns Jimmy to leave. He breaks one of the handcuffs, and Jimmy prepares to hit him again. He's tasered by Chloe, knocked unconscious. His back turned, Davis continues to transform, telling him to get away as she checks on Jimmy. She tries to calm Davis down and lays his hand on his shoulder. Davis' transformation stops and reverses. Clark arrives at the Lucid Mansion to check on Tess. She said she was unharmed and knew when she woke up in the emergency room that Clark had saved her, but Pilot's body hadn't been found. Clark says he only found one parachute, used it to save them both. Tess knows he's lying because she had seen two. However, she says she hopes their experience brought them closer. When Clark promises to keep her confidence, she tells her secret or whatever. She tells him that makes her feel safe. She also tells Clark that he can trust her and says that she may live in Lex's house, but she's not Lex. And then Clark just leaves. At the farm, I fuse them together. Clark's talking to Chloe about his experience with Tess, saying she thinks she knows his secret. Chloe says she should stay away from Tess, quit the Daily Planet, slow down being the red blue blur, and thinks Tess is dangerous because she tried to kill Lana. But Clark says she's only trying to stop Lex. So he wonders if Tess can be trusted. Chloe warns him to be careful, and he changes the subject by saying he will take Yimi. She changes the subject saying that she'll be taking Yimi home from the hospital. He's made it through the worst and will have happy ever after she leaves. Clark looks thoughtful. I don't know what that means. Chloe gets instructions from Yimi's discharge nurse about how to manage his pain medication, but he snatches them out of her hand and goes to leave. She says, "You're not alone," and Jimmy says that he can take care of himself. Chloe tries to explain that Jimmy would have regretted assaulting Davis, but Jimmy is still hurt that Chloe took Davis' side over what happened. In the middle of a freaking hallway, they start yelling, and she has to continue the conversation at home, and he snaps, making a scene saying that he's done trying to make them work because Chloe never trusted him, and he refuses to leave with her and says that marrying her was the biggest mistake of his life. She storms out, and Chloe is left crying. Yumi marches into Tess's office at Daily Planet, tells the security guard he quits, leaves a folder on Tess's desk containing a photograph of Davis and some murder victims, plus a handwritten note telling her to meet Davis Bloom. Clark continues his red blue blur duties. Yes, he's going around. He does the thing where he super speeds into the phone booth and turns into the red jacket and everything. And the question I have is there no cameras in the Daily Planet? There's gotta be. Jimmy's driving away and he takes way too much medication. He shouldn't be driving. And come back to Chloe at home, still crying. But outside the window, in the pouring rain, how's that song go? Go outside, still outside, feel the rain. And the feel the rain. And the rain just standing there. That's how the episode ends. This was fine. I'll give it a 3. Not as good as the last one. It's one of those. It's a filler episode, so there's not really much you can do with it. So, but it does further some stuff with Chloe, and he kind of pushes him away. I just don't. That means he's gonna be gone from the show again. Like, what does this mean? I don't know. We'll find out. I'm done for the day, though. I have 6 episodes left, and I plan on doing those all tomorrow, hopefully. I got a picnic I gotta go to. But after that, I'll try to knock them out one after the other. But for now, I'm taking a break ski. So, If that's on this episode, then come to make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching. I'm just gonna see you in the next one.